It's time for 1989's Boys of Summer. July brings us entries in all three of the biggest yearly baseball franchises for the Famicom. It's a real showdown, and when I reach episode 509, we'll have to work out who won. First up is Yakyuu, attempting to break away from their past with Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu. It's a whole new baseball game. It definitely won't have the same problems that the previous Moero Pro Yakyuu games had. And actually, this one's really stripped down compared to what we've been seeing. You just pick a team and play a season. And you get a password after every game so you can pick up where you left off. There aren't any real options, although it continues to use biorhythms to track player performance like the previous game did. Biorhythms were a 1970s invention where supposedly aspects of yourself could be tracked with sine waves. The fact that I have to explain what biorhythms are tells you how effective they were. Now you might have noticed something about this one. There's no Western title for Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu. This is not Bases Loaded 3. And I have a strong suspicion as to why. You see, Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu is virtually unplayable. The big innovation of the game was changing the perspective on the pitching to this angled in-the-stadium view. And you cannot tell where the ball is going, you cannot control the ball effectively, you can't even swing at the ball effectively. To minimize the problems, they removed the low, medium, and high stance for the batters. Now hitting A just swings at one height. On top of that, as soon as a team is 9 runs ahead, the game ends. Doesn't matter if they earned those 9 runs at the top of the inning so that there'd be a chance to catch up, the game just ends. I literally could not make it past the top of the second inning while I was playing. The fielding also seems to be a major step backward, and it also seems to be a bit inconsistent. I would press right and A to throw to first base, and maybe 20% of the time it would throw to second instead. Also, pressing the B button in a direction to run to a base doesn't work. Both A and B throw the ball for some reason. I think it's hard to understand just by watching on video how unplayable Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu is. The mismatched viewing angle and control scheme, and how nothing matches up quite how you'd expect, makes the whole thing feel uncomfortable. Yeah, the behind-the-batter view of other baseball games is kinda predictable, but there's a reason they use that angle. And I know I'm not the only one to have this complaint. In Japan, Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu is regarded as a low point in the series. And I'll remind you that this series started with a game where any pitch thrown after a foul ball was hit counted as a strike. And despite being unplayable, Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu was still a big hit in Japan. It was a game selling on brand recognition rather than quality. I know it's going to be easy for me to get stuck in a rut of going, ugh, another baseball game. But in this case, it's really deserved. Shin Moero Pro Yakyuu is the worst baseball game we've seen in quite a while.